We are live. Thank you for tuning in to Naijha Speaks. I'm Naijha Wright Brown, your host, and I'm here to help you. So let me help you find your vegan soul through food, people, events, and culture. Vegan Soulfest and Maryland Vegan Restaurant Month are a wrap. I felt as if I was in a movie last month. I don't know, a blockbuster one at that. Sending blessings and many congratulations to the team behind these incredible, amazing projects because August 2023 is going in my book as a summer to remember. Today's guests include the social media manager for Vegan Soul Fest, a best-selling author from Philadelphia. Shout out to my Philly peeps. A professional pole dancer from New York, my hometown, and Maryland Vegan Eats public relations partner for Vegan Restaurant Month. So please ask questions, like, share, comment during this live discussion. It is all welcome and appreciated. Don't get yourself blocked, though. Don't be disrespectful. Welcome, Marcus Standback of Daily Growth Yoga and Marketing. How are we doing, Marcus?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on, Naijha. It's cool to be talking to you in this way. We talk so much, I think, and now it's like, oh, we're gonna do the thing where we let people know that we actually know each other. Cool.
It's an incredible story how we connected. So I definitely want to get into that. So the first question is, Marcus, how did you get involved with Vegan Soul Fest?
I got a call from you one day. I was doing my normal thing. I've been running daily growth marketing now for started in 2016, so it's been over 7 years being in business for myself and offering marketing services. I started off as somebody who worked in corporate America doing marketing for larger businesses and then working trying to help some of the local businesses and realizing like, oh wait, I don't think I can be in corporate and help a local business. I need to be a local business so I can understand. And from that, like, I've just built a network and a story of like helping mostly Black-owned local businesses in the internet space. A lot of times, like, social media is a tricky space to navigate. Figuring out how to start email marketing can be a tricky space to navigate. So when you reached out to me, you were like, "Hey, we're trying to figure out this social media thing. We want to have some like increased activity. We want to see people getting excited about the festival. We want to try to sell more tickets than we've ever sold. You know, we're trying to make this thing as big as possible and allow it to continue to grow the way we feel like it should." So you called me basically like, "Hey, do you know how to do this social media thing? Like, make me believe it. Help me believe that you know what you're doing." And after our conversation that day, you were like, "Yeah, I think you see the vision." We aligned on more than just like my understanding of social media, what was needed for the marketing, but like what's needed in the vegan community, what wellness looks like in the future to us, and some of the ways that we see ourselves able to kind of shift and influence getting to that point for our community. So yeah, it was a natural alignment. Like our first conversation, and I don't think that wasn't our first time meeting, but that was our first time like having a long drawn out conversation. And it was like, oh, okay, maybe we should have done this sooner. So that was
Right. Because when we had to call out for a social media manager, I think a couple of people responded. It wasn't a lot of people. I know we brought in Keisha Reed for digital strategy. She was one that responded, and you responded, and then there was someone else. But when I talked to you and you talked about your relationship with eLife and Dr. Baruch, I was like, yeah, that's Dr. Baruch is out, people. He's
yeah,
definitely
that's my guy for real. And it was
definitely.
so nice to see him at the festival. It
Oh,
was
he
like,
was there?
yes,
I didn't even know.
he snuck in there on us on Sunday and didn't say too much. And it was like I literally was just, helping flip it out with something, turned around. I said, Dr. Baruch, is that he turned around like, oh.
I
I
gotta
was like,
connect with him. I gotta go back down there and see him. Thank you for telling me that because I didn't even realize that he was there. And thank you for talking about Flip It. Can you briefly tell us what Flip It was and what they did since you talked
absolutely.
about it
And,
first?
and before I jump on that, I wanted to mention the other way that we connected. Someone the person who tagged me on the post that you put out asking for social media, the owners of the old Grub Factory. Like,
Oh
yeah, remember?
yes! Shout
Yeah,
out
because
Club Factory. I miss them so
I
much.
miss them too. Haru and Harani, if y'all watch this, y'all gotta call me, man. We gotta figure out how to get y'all putting the food back out here, because that was my
We
spot
needed
where
them at the festival, for real.
I know, right? Like that used to be my spot where people be like, "Man, I ain't trying to try all that vegan food." I'm like, "But you'll eat a burger, right? All right, let me take you somewhere."
Exactly. And
Yeah.
Marcus, what do you actually do? Because you have daily growth yoga. Can you talk about that a little bit before we start getting really involved with things with the festival, how it went, things we like, didn't like? What
Yeah,
do you actually do
sure.
for a living?
For sure. So I mentioned daily growth marketing. That's like my business that I pay my bills with. I do marketing for local businesses and support businesses in that way, whether it's email, websites, social media. My brand that I put a lot of time and energy into building, the thing that I would love to be, not only the retirement plan, but the lifestyle for the duration of my life, is Daily Growth Yoga. Daily Growth Yoga is a yoga business that I created with the main purpose being to expose more Black people to yoga. Um,
Nice.
I didn't
Nice.
see a lot of representation in yoga when I first started practicing. I was on YouTube with Yoga with Adrian, like everybody else, when they first start. A lot of people when they start on YouTube, and I found that it was a little bit of it was a frustrating journey to try to find Black teachers, and especially a Black male teacher that whose body and type of energy mimicked what I was looking for and what I wanted to receive in a yoga practice. Because the practice gets pretty vulnerable at some point, so you want to feel safe. You want to see yourself being represented. When I didn't see that, I realized, oh, maybe this is why I found this at 25 instead of maybe when I would have really needed it even sooner at like 15. So I really want to be that representation for young Black people to be able to say like, oh, okay, this is something I can get into. This is something that can help me. This is something that I'm being welcomed into and see representation for myself in. So, and like legitimately in a city like Baltimore, where we don't have enough avenues to channel some of the pain that our city experiences and some of the hardship that the families in our cities experience. I think yoga is a great practice to allow us to channel it in a healthy way.
It definitely is, and I'm glad you said that. Also, shout out to Diva Yogi, who led the Wellness Village at Vegan Soulfest this year, and she did an amazing job. And the reason behind me and Brenda starting Vegan Soulfest describes everything you just talked about, just having a safe space for us vegans, and not just vegans, non-vegans, people that are curious to celebrate veganism like we do. We're comfortable with. I love comedy, I love music, I love all type of things that people don't realize. Vegans like this stuff too, and we're cool with it. So definitely filling that void. I want to share a video from one of the attendees that I think people will like. It gives a different perspective of what took place at the festival, and I just love it.
First time experienced Vegan Soul Fest. Very excited to have an opportunity to be around so many people of color that enjoyed the vegan experience. These Jamaican patties right here with the seaweed inside were mwah, and the t-shirts. But what I will say, it was hot and those lines were long. Cool treats to combat that. Zoe's Vegan Delights was delicious. We got mac and cheese, a little bit of curry and kale, but you needed to take breaks, and the breeze by the water was just what it took. But I heard there was some free water being given away, so off I go to find it. And guess what? Yep, it said what it said. Free water, lots of food, great experience, music, but lots of breaks to cool off. And you know what? When it was time to go, it was time to go.
I love
But
it. Shout out. Shout out.
Such an honest
KB
account.
Eats Plant. I love it. I love because she kind of described everything that took place at the festival. But from your perspective, what did you feel went well? Didn't what was your experience like? Because you was over there capturing videos, you was working with Flip It,
Yeah.
one of our presenting sponsors. Also, shout out to Visit Maryland, our other presenting sponsors. So, talk to us about your thoughts and feelings on how the festival went.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I'll start by saying this overall for y'all to have organized, coordinated, and us to have come together and put on a festival that had the highest attendance ever for the Vegan Soul Fest and just really brought out such a large crowd of people in general for a vegan festival. I think that was like a powerful statement and staple to the city in general. So like for me to, as somebody who's, I went hardcore vegan for 3.5 years when I first started transitioning into a more wellness oriented lifestyle. And I've since I call myself a conscious eater because I'm not like a hardcore vegan, but I very much it's plants first, it's plant forward. And in that vein, it was nice to be doing some work with a brand like Flip It that has more of a plant forward mindset. So, and I think that allowed the space to be opened up to people who were not vegan but have tasted vegan food maybe and enjoyed something, or hadn't tasted vegan food before and were curious enough to be willing to try it. So we had a large crowd of people that I think wasn't necessarily the typical vegan community. Now, I saw a lot of people from the typical vegan community come out, but a vast majority of the people there, I would say, were not the typical people you see at a vegan festival or vegan event. And I think that's a beautiful experience for us as people who've been around in this community longer and who have kind of been sharing this message. Like, I'm a content creator. I share a lot of content about what I eat and smoothies in the morning, things like that. It was beautiful to see people lined up for things like, watermelon juice and real fruit, natural ices. I'm like, this is lovely. Like, y'all like this? Okay, cool. Like, we are at the point where this has become popular enough where, the lines were long. It's the first vegan. So mind you, I came to the Vegan Soul Festival. I started popping in back in 2017.
Okay.
So my first
we were at Clifton Park.
Yeah,
we were at Clifton Park at that time.
And I remember walking in and being able to just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna stop at this vendor and go to that, because it's like the line is 3 people on line. Cool. It was beautiful to me to be like, oh, there's a line. I gotta wait for I have a close friend that a Black Baltimore vegan, Naijha.
Yes.
Naijha was out there. She had a line so long all day. Like the first day, I didn't even get some of my own. Like I helped her get to the festival and into the festival, and I was not able to get any of her food the first day. And I was like, I had my moment where I was like, ooh, okay, I didn't get what I really wanted. But then I said, but this is what we want overall. Like, as a yoga instructor, as a community guide and leader, I find that there's the delicate balance of like, you create stuff and then we put a lot of energy behind getting it to work. And then at some point, it's going to work more than we thought it would. And then we've got to adjust and be like, wow, we didn't know that it was going to work that well. Now we've got to like be prepared for it to work that well. And I think it's beautiful to see the Vegan Soul Fest get to that point.
Yeah, because last year was a little different. Coming off of the pandemic. So if no one knows the backstory of Vegan Soul Fest, it's been a free festival since 2014, all the way up until 2022, where, we had that couple of year break during the pandemic. So coming back, of course, funding for nonprofits. And again, if people don't understand Vegan Soul Fest, it is backed by 2 Black woman-led nonprofits, Black Veg Society and Afro Vegan Society. So getting the funding to put these operations on and grow it to a whole nother level. Now we're bringing in speakers. People want to get paid. We're being musicians. They want to get paid. We're bringing in chefs. They want to get paid. We got to fly people. Yeah, everybody has to pay for that. And then we want this nice land with the water, so all of that brought the vision to myself and Brenda that we've always wanted to have this VIP experience, and maybe it would have just been that and free, but then we evolved to this, and it's going to continue growing because the next goal is 20,000 attendees, and whatever that venue can hold, that with the park, and that'll be. But that's always been the vision, to grow it into the vegan Coachella, and we're going to be on our way to that. Brenda talks about that all the time, the vegan Coachella. And we understand the food is important. Sometimes being a restaurant owner, sometimes I feel people don't understand that restaurants are going through something post-COVID. There's staffing issues, there's financial issues, there's a lot of things. So it's challenging to kind of bring people out. Like even Valanda Kush couldn't even sustain, okay, we got VIP and retail, and we got to choose one or the other. We tried both on the first day, and the second day is like, we got to focus on food for the VIP because, stuff is running out. And these are the decisions that we had to make, at the moment while things were going on. So last year vendors were upset because there was no people. This year vendors were excited and happy. Someone called, as a matter of fact, I spoke to Everything Legendary, my peeps, Dwayne, and he was like, this was like the best ever compared to all of the festivals that he's done. So it's kind of like we got to find a balance to satisfy attendees and vendors and make sure everyone is happy. You get the food and the vendors, you know, they sell out, or it's this mathematics game we have to play.
And I think I think that's the best type of problem to have. I think the problem that many business owners have all experienced most likely is, you know, you struggle to get people to support something and show up to it, especially when it becomes a paid event or a paid opportunity. Now, I think the thing that the Vegan Soul Fest is experiencing is the other challenge on the other end of it, where it's like, okay, now you've got a ton of support, and now we've got to create more space for this amount of people to support us. And I think it's a beautiful, the reason I say it's a beautiful problem is because it's one of those problems where there might be some people who had a slightly, you know, less than what they were expecting experience because they weren't expecting that line. They've been to the festival every year all the way, and they're like, there's never been a line. I'm like, yeah, that's new. That is the newness that comes with more people supporting this. And then some people saying like, well, restaurants have never run out of food at this thing before. I'm like, yeah, that's new. As a business, for them, that's a great situation to be in, while it's also a tough situation to be in. You want everyone to experience your food. But when you sell out, that means that as a business, you had a really great day. So what that also ensures is that the next year, more restaurants are going to be intrigued and attracted to say like, oh, we've got to make it out to the Vegan Soul Fest. Well, they got to come down from Philly. We had a brother, Sadiq's Ice, man.
Oh my God.
That man drove back to Philly as they were running low on product so that he could be on his way back with more by the time they ran out. And it was almost like it took a superhero level commitment for some of those vendors to even figure that out. Like some of our food vendors, I know personally, my friend Asia probably went back and forth to her house 3 or 4 times to prep more food for people, because she was like, how could I have known that level of attraction and that level of demand was going to be present at one festival? She was like, she did a festival with 20,000 people the weekend before. It was like, it was nothing like this.
Wow.
So I'm like, this is something that y'all created. This is a unique experience. I mean, I know I saw some comments that said the marketing made the event look so good. It was just like, that was the goal. Like, we wanted y'all to get the vision of what we're building. And all that, I think the things that I've enjoyed with you and Brenda in our more private conversations is like y'all's commitment to being like, hey, we hear the people, and we've already like started making moves to like do better with some of these things. And it's like, you know, I love Brenda's comment in the live she did where she's like, but y'all are human too. Like, people can just talk to y'all. Like, and by people talking to y'all, it's like, we appreciate that feedback. We've heard it, and we've been able to say like, oh, okay. I've heard y'all be like, all right, so this, and this for next year. And I'm like, that's lovely, because that means that y'all really do care about the people, and y'all's hard work of the years where like y'all had to grind it out on your own. I know those first couple of years, from what I've heard from y'all, it's like y'all did that by yourselves, more or less. And then to have y'all receiving help now, and to have it being like creating more revenue so that y'all can do more things and bring in artists and bring in speakers and do things like was done this year. I think it's a beautiful transition to be like, hey, the problem used to be people didn't want to support a vegan festival, and now the problem is we need to make more space for people to support the vegan festival. I'm like, yeah, thank you for creating this problem for us, y'all. If this is the type of problems y'all creating, I'll roll with y'all down Problem Avenue whenever y'all want to go. Because, you know, I think a lot of the problems we have in our community can be dead-end problems. And this problem is leading us somewhere. This problem is leading us to the vegan Coachella, as Brenda likes to say.
I appreciate you, Marcus. Now, we have another guest coming on, our best-selling author, Odessa White. So don't go anywhere, Marcus, because you were actually in this conversation with Odessa. And I'm going to bring Odessa on. Odessa, welcome to Naijha Speaks. I appreciate you. I wish I could play your video, you know, but due to I want to, you know, keep my stream up, and I don't want YouTube to take it down. You know, I love Buddhism and expression and all that, and you are a sister from my heart, so I feel all the energy. So y'all got to go check out Odessa at Vegan Soul Fest on the Instagram, or I have her on my page at Naijha Speaks Vegan Soul. You did an incredible job describing the festival and your experience. So can you take time and tell us, how did you hear about Vegan Soul Fest?
I actually heard about Vegan Soul Fest. I believe a business associate had, we heard about y'all in Philly. So a business associate had sent the link to me. It was something I was interested in. I recently started transitioning. I'm actually not vegan. I'm not vegan, but I've recently started transitioning, and I wanted to check it out. About time I registered, I registered like in January or February. So during that time, I have transitioned a lot. So I do like fast and I do like raw food diets. I eliminated meat completely from my diet, and occasionally I'll have fish. And I'm trying to stay away from that. So this was actually like my first vegan fest experience as a business or as a guest. And I actually was a guest this time, and I'm like, I'm just going to enjoy myself, and I did. It was so amazing, just to be outside of Philly, even though it was only a couple hours drive, but just to be outside of Philly and not really worry about the responsibilities that I had with my business and my career and my family, and really be welcomed into an environment that was just so positive, and just being filled with so many of my people, right? Like I didn't have to worry about asking somebody like, excuse me, and them getting upset. People were like, moving. If you said, hey, excuse me, can I get by? People was gladly moving. They were smiling. People wasn't upset if you bumped into them. That's just totally different from Philly events, because we can be a little rough, right? We can be a little rough. So it was like an amazing experience. And we actually arrived super late, and we had to park like 8 blocks away. For me, it was good, right? Because I'm like, oh, that means it's lit in here, as a businesswoman, because I'm looking at like the parking lot was closed off, but they were really good with like directing us to where we could go. They told us where we could park at, and we did find plenty of parking where they told us to go at. And we enjoyed the walk down and the scenery. It was so beautiful. And then to arrive at the Vegan Fest, we were greeted with people that were leaving because there wasn't no food, but I came for the fest. The food was like the extra bonus. I just wanted to see like everything that you guys had, and y'all truly didn't disappoint. We was excited to do day number 2, and we was like, we getting here first thing in the morning because we knew how it was going to be, just based off of day 1, and we only court like the last couple hours, so we knew that it was going to be jam-packed again, and we just wanted parking, and thankfully we did get parking, and we got there probably like an hour, like around 12:30, and most of the parking lots was like almost full, which was a good thing. We got there. I was able to get some food. I was able to get some refreshments. The lines was jam-packed, but after talking to the business vendors, touching on, I didn't catch his name. He was telling me that a lot of them wasn't expecting such a huge turnout. I met one vendor, and that was her very first vending experience. I actually bought the rest of her items for my daughter, but that was her very first vending event. She wasn't expecting to turn out the way it was. She wasn't expecting to sell out either, and she did. So she was like, I'm not going to have any more, by tomorrow. So I'm like, well, give me what you have. And my daughter ended up loving the items, but I've never been so happy to give my money away. When I did, when I was able to connect with the businesses and the vendors, they were patient with me. If I had any questions, everybody was answering my questions. They made each guest feel like an individual person. And I'm assuming that equated to longer than average wait times. But I much prefer that than somebody's not giving me eye contact or putting my money on the counter or something like that. I really felt special with each vendor and business I connected with.
Oh, that's it. What do you do for a living? And then when you said that, like we communicated so much the numbers every and the market, you can definitely add to this. Every time we reached a ticket sell milestone, whether it was 5,000 tickets, we shouted out that. If it was 10,000 tickets, we shouted out that. When we said like, so we told, and we had a whole meeting for the vendor. And we told, so you just to let it, everybody was aware of the ticket sales and where we were at, if they were engaged with our social media or any of the meetings we had, especially for the vendors. So, next time I guess there's got to be a big memo that goes out everywhere. Like, hey, it's 12,000 tickets. So, at this point, every single medium has to be, even in press release. Anybody can Google Vegan Soulfest and see the press release.
I have a phrase for that, Naijha. I have a phrase for what happened, and you've heard me use this phrase before. It's one of the unknown unknowns. You do things, and sometimes there are the known unknowns, the stuff that you like, all right, we know we don't know that. There's the known knowns, the stuff that you know, like, all right, we're very clear on what needs to happen here. And then there's the unknown unknowns, like the stuff that you don't know,
Right.
And it's a reference from the Boondocks, but it's like, it was one of the cleverest and most intelligent and wise statements made, because the truth of especially when you create stuff that's new, there's always going to be unknown unknowns. There's stuff that you don't know that you're going to become aware of as you're creating this thing. And then you will have to adjust in the moment. Like, you're going to be like, wow, we didn't even know we need to think about that. So obviously now we've got to figure out what to do about it.
Because the communication was there, public relay. I did several press releases. So, but Odessa, what do you do for a living? You're a best-selling author. Can you talk about that? Because, I might need to connect with you when you get down here. I want to write something.
Yes. I'm the CEO of OGW Publishing. I have one of the biggest publishing companies in the tri-state area. I focus on helping authors not only write their book. I meet a lot of people that are struggling with actually completing their story, and I think it's super important for literature written by us based off our experience to be out to the public. In addition, I am a #1 best-selling author. I have 2 #1 titles. My first title is...
Yes, please show it, because I'm gonna be coming to you. I got a book in me.
Title is A Child Raising a Child. I wrote this book in 2016. To be honest, it's amazing. But I look back at it now and I'm like, just based off of my experience in business and growing and spirituality, this was like the beginning version of just my journey. It focused on the steps needed to release the fear, break the cycle, and gain the control needed for success. I won 7 awards for this. The biggest was WBAF.
Congratulations.
It's in a few schools in Philadelphia.
How do we order that? I would love to order that.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's available on my website. It's available on Amazon. On my website, you'll get an autographed copy. But I'll send you an autographed book. I also will send you my new shirt. You see my shirt?
Ooh, yeah!
That's what she said.
Oh, that is my bestest friend.
Yeah, I emailed you. It's a different design. This is actually like the basic design because I did this like yesterday. But I sent you on your Instagram the actual design. So I'll send you out a shirt and I'll also send you out an autographed book. Outside of nursing, I am a herbalist. I have a herbalist business. I'm a CEO of OGW Wellness and Herbs. I started that after the pandemic. I really got into herbs. I am a nurse. I have been in the healthcare field since 2005. I was the COVID nurse, and just my experience living through that and being a full-time COVID nurse and just around so much illness and death and things of that nature, I just felt like it was time for something different. I am still a practicing nurse, but I'm also a herbalist. So, yeah.
I love it. I love it. What are you working on? Any projects you're working on now? Books? Anything that you want to shout out? Any call to actions?
I am working on like 6 titles right now. So many books. They're all on my page. My business page is actually OGW_writing on Instagram. I am Odessa White. It's like my personal page, but I am working on 7 titles. I'm relaunching my podcast called Books, Business, and Borscht. I'm relaunching that, which is pretty good. I'm ready to do a book tour. I'll actually be in Baltimore on the 24th for Brandon's speaking engagement. So I'll be back in the city on the 24th. So I'm preparing for a book tour in 2024. So I'll just say stay on the lookout.
Please send that information to me because I'll get it on my personal page. I definitely want to. And that's one of the things I love to do. I love supporting our sisters, lifting sisters up. So again, you're in Philly, you're coming to Baltimore. Please, let's stay connected because I'm telling you the truth. I got a book in me that I want to get out. It's going to be one book. I'm not writing all these thousands of books. It's got to be the best book possible so far where I'm at. I'm 51. I think I'll be 52. Sometimes I forget because I'm over 50. But I have a story from the inner city housing projects and all the way to where I am now. And I want to get that out to our young sisters and the brothers. And, so Odessa, we connected. If you don't got my number, I'll get you my number and all that other stuff. And let's stay connected.
It's definitely needed. I don't have as much experience as you. But I'm 38. I'm a mother of four. I'm a licensed practical nurse. I'm a first generational college graduate. I'm the first generational business owner. I a lot of public success from my book, financial success, and really have been able to change the trajectory of my life. But I was a 16-year-old mother, right? Like I was a 16-year-old teenager. And after meeting so many people, it's so many people in our culture that don't know they can make it out, right? Like they don't know there is a clear path if they stay focused. They really don't know because they only see what they see, right? And a lot of times what we see is death, destruction, and poverty, right? So definitely we have my 90-day coaching program. I do have 95% success rate. All of my clients that actually complete the 90 days, they are published authors now. They're on my business page. But one-on-one coaching with me, like if you follow the blueprint, the story will definitely be out. That's the goal. We try to make best-selling books. And with your platform, you'll be able to push it to number one or wherever you want to push it to.
You got more experience than me. You said 4 children. I got one 11-year-old that's going on to, you know what? We're going to talk offline. You talk about you got 16. My mother had me when she was, we're going to talk. Yeah. I have another guest coming on. Okay. Tiffany is a professional pole dancer, and she was also at the Vegan Soulfest. So I'm going to bring her on. Before I bring her on, I got to do, my selfless shame promotion. Before I do that, Odessa, is there anything you wanted to shout out? Are you going to hang with us until 11:45, or do you have to run?
No, I'm actually going to hang with y'all. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at OGW_writing. Look for book releases, my clothing line release, as well as our podcast release, just talking about current topics that's affecting us in our community.
Send me that in the chat so I can put that in the comments, okay? Your IG, and then I'll update it in the ticker, but then I can send it. Hey, you're tuning in to Naijha Speaks, NaijhaSpeaks.com. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. Black Veg Society, I am the executive director. Naijha Speaks is a project of Black Veg Society. We are meeting people where they are on their holistic health, vegan, and plant-based journey. Supporters, you're paying for all of this. You're paying for me to do this, to advertise people that are doing amazing things in the community. You're paying for Vegan Soulfest. You're paying for Vegan Restaurant Month. We need your support to keep this going. So please support Black Veg Society by going to blackvegsociety.org. No contribution is too small. I'll take $5 from 100 people. That helps with a whole bunch. You can't even imagine. We also sponsor local events. There's a local event coming up next Saturday, the Vegan Block Party. This is what we do in the community. So please support Brittany Gilliam at the Vegan Block Party next Saturday. So for more information on that, you can go to vegetable.com. There's more information at Black Veg Society. We've been promoting that festival as well, and it is a free fest. Again, support. We need it. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I appreciate you. Tiffany, we're bringing you on.
Hi, Naijha. How are you? Hi,
everyone. I'm great. I'm so happy you came into the land of Kush yesterday. It was yesterday. Like, I had Tiffany under the pressure. It was supposed to be Tiffany and Clay. Clay could not make it today, but Tiffany will, shout out Clay stuff. I'm so happy you came in the restaurant. It was the perfect timing because I don't know if I was coming in or leaving out or whatever was going on. And you wanted some t-shirts. We sold out of the majority of t-shirts for 2023. We only had smalls and triple XLs. Anybody need a triple XL Vegan Soulfest shirt? We have about 20 of them. So reach out. But I was able to get Tiffany and Clay couple of t-shirts, some plant-based dripping t-shirts. Shout out to Gray. He did a great job last year with that branding, and a cap. So I appreciate your support because that goes to Black Veg Society and Afro Vegan Society. So we definitely appreciate that. Tell us, how did you hear about Vegan Soulfest?
So I heard about Vegan Soulfest on Instagram. It came across my Instagram timeline. And since I'm vegan, I was like, oh, I have to go to this. So I sent it to Clay, and Clay is actually my partner, and he's vegan also. So I sent it to him, and he was like, all right, perfect, we're going to go. So that's how I found out about it. And we planned it and we went. We brought tickets for both days. We came, we enjoyed it. It was very hot outside, but we had fun nonetheless. It was a great experience. And I definitely look forward to doing it again.
And you came down from New York, right? What was it?
Yeah,
What part of New York?
we are from Brooklyn.
Woo! Where Brooklyn at? And I
Brooklyn
talked
is
to you.
always in the house, just in case anybody was wondering. Oh, let me lower my voice because I'm at work. Yeah, Brooklyn
Okay,
is
no
always in
problem.
the house.
I got you. I got you. And I talked to you about Black Veg Fest. Shout out to Amawale and his wife Nadia out there that hold down the Black Veg Fest in Brooklyn. So Brooklyn definitely represented at the Vegan Soul Fest. What was your experience? Things that went well, could have went better. Was it everything you expected? We want to hear that. We want to share that information with the viewers.
So before getting there, I didn't really have any expectations. But when I got there, I was shocked to see how many people were there. I didn't think that it was going to be that big, but it was packed. So the first day we got there a little later and it was still packed. So we walked around a little bit. We waited online to get some food. I forgot who it actually was. We did get some watermelon. So I was actually looking forward to going back on Sunday. So Sunday we got there earlier and it was hot. It was hot outside. So we stood in line for maybe about almost 2 hours to get something to eat. So what we would do is we would tag team. One would stand online, one would go to another vendor. Then we would switch. So we got a chance to experience a couple of different vendors, but it was nice. So the only thing that I would say is that I would have appreciated some more shade. But other than that, I thought it was great. The food was great. The music was great. The people was great. We really had a good time.
I appreciate you, Tiffany. Anything that you're working on right now in terms of the pole dancing, any call to action you want to put out there? I know you're at work, so I don't want to, overextend. This is your time to shine. You're a celebrity right now.
Let me tell everybody about what I do for a living. So I actually have two jobs. Right now, I am at my full-time job. I work for a nonprofit. We do awards in marketing. That's my day job. I am a certified group fitness instructor. That's my part-time job. So I'm a pole dance instructor. So I'm actually looking to get my own studio. So I teach other things besides pole dancing, but pole dancing is what I am most known for. So as you can see, my Instagram name is Poliest Dancer. So I'm just working on getting my own space so I can do my own thing. That's basically it. So if anybody has any pole related questions, any pole related events coming up, just let me know. So there is an Instagram page called Black Girls Pole. It is not my Instagram page, but it is Black women. So if anybody is interested, definitely check out Black Girls Pole because they do travel and they do lots of things.
I love it, Tiffany. Thank you. Is there anything else you want to share with us? Because we're going to just continue on the conversation through 11:45. You want to shout out anything for Clay since he's not
Oh,
here?
definitely. So Clay couldn't make it. Today is the first day back to school for public schools in New York. Clay is actually a barber and a certified personal trainer. So he does barber services, he does grooming, he does lifestyle, he does everything. So if anybody's interested in that, you can follow him at Clay Sculpts on Instagram. So that's CLAISCULPTS. Clay Sculpts on Instagram. So
Oh, thank
he
you.
sends his love here. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here, but I'll represent for him.
Thank you. And again, I appreciate you all coming down to the land of Kush, supporting us. Restaurants need your support, and especially vegan restaurants, because I'm seeing restaurants come and go. So, especially small Black restaurants. So, please, and thank you. Where are we at now? The comments. I told people that they can comment and talk. So let's see what's out there. So this is the first time I'm looking at the comments. Tom, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Tom is from Chicago. He always tunes in. I love him. So important to support your local vegan restaurants. Thank you for telling me that. Pam, thanks for tuning in. 72 years old, vegetarian, compassionate eater since the age of 18. can't imagine being any other way. Thank you for what you are doing, spreading the word. We appreciate you for tuning in, Pam. Oh my God, somebody just put it out there. Period. Heart Ram. I did yoga like 10 effing times. Great live night. Thank you for tuning in, Pyramid. We appreciate your comment. Yes, you have to check out Odessa's video on the Vegan Soulfest page or on my page. She talks about her whole experience in debt. It's a 3-part series. And that's what drew me to her. I said, Odessa coming on the show. What? She got to get in with this. And she's moving from Philly to Baltimore. So that even made it better. And she's an author. So anyway, I could go on and on. Thank you for that. Yeah, she did yoga like 10 effing times. I want that t-shirt.
Careful, y'all be careful watching Odessa's videos though. If you got thin skin, Odessa keep it real.
Hey, then don't watch. If you can't look, don't watch them. And that's why I love her. She kept it real.
So for me, growing up in Philadelphia, I don't know how Philadelphia is really, really rough. Like, we're super rough here. But now I'm finally understanding, like, okay, I'm an empath, right? Like, I'm empathetic with everybody, but I really didn't know what that meant until now. And I never been comfortable with like the conditions that we grew up in, right? Like, I was that child, like, why we gotta be poor? Why we got roaches? Like, what is this? Like, is this normal? Like, life just wasn't normal to me. And the older I get and with the more knowledge I get, I realized, like, systematically it was designed like this, but we can change it. So for me, I absorbed, being in the Vegan Fest, I kind of absorbed those comments because I'm like, I was there and this ain't how it happened. And I guess my perspective as a business owner, I see how it was well organized. As a nurse, I've seen certain things and I'm like, okay, I see where, it could be growth in the future. But y'all did an amazing job. And I feel like we are so critical with our own, right? And we're so quick to say, oh, I'm never doing this again. But we are minimal from other races. And it's just not acceptable. So in order to change it, we kind of have to speak about it, right?
I love it. I love it.
Under the rug.
I love it. And I'm glad you said that. We are so hard on our own. Like, I've been so many places, I've done so many different things. And the fact that Tiffany said, they didn't have any expectations. They just went there. A lot of times I go places like, I just don't have any expectation. I'm just going there. I try to find out as much information as I can. And when I get there, I just get there. And if it's meant, it's meant. If it's not, and the energy says, okay, you got to go in another direction, that's exactly what I do.
I start yoga classes with a concept just like that. And I say it could be applied to everything in life. It's like, if you walk into a yoga class and your teacher that you come to every week is not there, you got to sub. There's that moment your heart jumps where you like, oh, snap, this is not what I thought I was coming to. And, oh, no, what if it's not like what I want? And that's our expectations, right? Our expectations are dictating what we think the experience is going to be. And I tell people, I'm like, the only other time I've experienced that, for me, like primarily that viscerally, is like it's like a first date. We first date a lot of experiences. And I think if we treat it more experience like the first dates we've enjoyed, like the first dates we enjoy are the ones where you let go of the expectations. Maybe you was there, you was like, I don't like their outfit, I don't like their shoes, I don't like this restaurant. But by the end of the night, if you let them expectations go, it was something you did like. They took you to do something that you wouldn't have done on your own that was enjoyable. And you're like, wow, I'm going to integrate that in the rest of my life. I didn't know I was missing out. I never had kimchi before.
Right.
So I think sometimes if we treat more experiences with that mindset where it's like, hey, pull up with no expectations. You've never been here before. You don't know what it's going to be. And even if you have been here before, it's another year. It's another day. It might be different.
I'm on the Try Love tribe. So I just try love, as best as I possibly can. I have Dave Seel coming on. People probably didn't realize, or hopefully they did realize, that August is Maryland Vegan Restaurant Month. So this whole Vegan Soulfest is a celebration inside of what's going on in the state of Maryland in terms of our initiative to get more restaurants to add plant-based options to their menu. And this year, we did a couple of new things. One, for the first time, we had a presenting sponsor. Better Food Foundation's Default Veg was our first time presenting sponsor for the Maryland Vegan Restaurant Month. And shout out to Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott for signing the Maryland proclamation, Baltimore City proclamation for this month. So we've never had that done before. So that was incredible. And Dave is going to come on and talk about that. I'm going to bring him on in a second. Is there anything that you all want to contribute before I bring Dave on so we can close out with the whole Maryland Vegan Restaurant Month and what happened in that regard? No, we good? Blue I just want you to meet the gang.
Hey,
So we have Dave is with Blue and Blue plus Blue Marketing. They're doing an incredible, amazing job in the community with promoting restaurants and all types of things. With Dave will talk about. Dave Marcus did the social media for Vegan Soulfest. Odessa White from Philly, who attended Vegan Soulfest for the first time and enjoyed herself. And Tiffany is a professional pole dancing instructor. She's from Brooklyn, and she was attending the festival for the first time, but has been to Land of Kush a few times. So Land of Kush, yeah.
Love it. Well, I'm glad to be here, and thank you for all your support for at Vegan Soulfest. And yeah, Vegan Restaurant Month was definitely a smashing success. It was really great. And like you said, Naijha, we were just really happy to have Default Veg and the Better Food Foundation signed on to just like really bring another level of engagement, both for our restaurant partners as well as just supporting the overall month. So it went great.
David's being modest. I'm going to show you what really happened, how we launched Maryland. This is how we launched the month of August, y'all. Hold on for a second. I'm going to share. Like, we partied hard.
Yeah.
Here we go. Was it this one? It was this one, right?
Yep.
Presenting sponsor.
That's me working hard.
What we got here, oat milk by default. This is what it's all about. Maryland Vegan Restaurant Month starts tomorrow, August 4th, and runs through the 27th. So come down here and sample some of the goods. We have some restaurants here that want you to try some things out. Hey, first 100 people get the snake oil hot sauce. They're going fast. Yes. $10 tickets, mdveganeats.com. We're going to be here until 8:30. We got DJ TNT spinning on the turntables. Let's go see what's going on.
I love this party, man.
It's always a good time. It's always a good
DJ
time.
TNT.
Yes. We back at it, ladies and gentlemen.
Back at it.
It's always good to start the month off celebratory.
Yeah.
DJ services. Somebody's going to sing for vegan food tonight. Wine tasting. Yeah. Vegan wine tasting. I'll be back.
Yeah, it was really great to have Girasol.
You want to talk about the wine?
And that wine is amazing.
And the
It
Pinot
was
Noir.
really good.
Plus, we have about 4 other varieties that we offer. So. Vegan and
Lightning and the thunder.
what up, y'all?
There's Chino. So for everyone who knows,
Make sure to come and try some of this amazing vegan food and wine.
I love it.
You got the boys.
Chino is my other
Chino,
half.
let's go.
We're Blue plus Blue Marketing.
Get my hair up my face.
Look, I'm gonna get in party mode. Okay, so y'all gotta go to MD Vegan Eats and check that out because it was a party. Just to give everybody an idea of what we built towards to get to this Vegan Soulfest. So Vegan Soulfest was definitely a big thing, but it's a whole month of celebration and the restaurants are doing their thing. So I want to thank all of the guests that for coming on. I'm going to close out with Dave so we can talk about, next steps for Maryland Vegan Restaurant Month, because that's a twice a year event. We do that in March and we do it in August. So we got to start planning for March. Man. Any last messages, Marcus, Odessa, Tiffany, before I have you come off?
just thank you for having me, and I will see you soon. I'll be back to Land of Kush as soon as possible.
Well, you have my information, Tiffany. Please hit me up.
Thanks for having me, and I look forward. I'll be talking to you soon, Naijha, about the Land of Kush. We're gonna get some stuff together.
Yeah, Marcus Stanback is the new social media manager for Land of Kush. So hey. All right, everyone. I will speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Dave, vegan restaurant month in Maryland.
It went great. It went really well. I'm excited to announce the best dishes, best drinks, and best dessert. We took a poll at the end of the month, and drum roll.
Drum roll, please. I love it.
Drum roll. For best dish, it was a tie this year between Tavern by Woodbury Kitchen and Johnny Rad's.
Woo! That was for best dish.
Congrats to them for the best dish.
What was the dish? Do we know?
People said that the bread pudding at Johnny Rad's was one of the best things that they've ever eaten. They had a number of different specials, but between the two that really put Johnny Rad's up top were the bread pudding and the vegan garlic parm bites.
Ooh, wow.
People loved all of that. And then at Woodbury Tavern, the crispy eggplant salad and the roasted peach crumble. But really that crispy eggplant salad was a crowd pleaser for sure.
Do you know if they're going to keep that on the menu? I'd love to try that.
I don't know. I would assume that because they're so hyper local, it's always kind of shifting and changing. Right. But probably for at least while the summer menu lasts.
I'm gonna check it out. I love the salad and the eggplant and the crispy. That just sounds like the texture is off the chain there. I haven't been able to try a lot of restaurants this month because I've been so so I gotta get out there and see who's got what going on.
Yeah, totally. No, you definitely have to go, and the vibe there is just really great, and it's good to see them doing their thing again. Then we had for best drink, it was a landslide for Hugh Cafe and Apothecary.
Woo! I love Hugh.
Won on this one. They're I think the winning kind of drinks were their juices and smoothies. I mean, they just have a whole bomb product up there.
They do an amazing job the way they dress it up and present it and everything. I love their stuff. Yeah, you're making me. I gotta get up. I gotta get back up there.
They came in with 35% of the vote, and
wow.
They were. They're all about it. Folks were all about it. And then last but not least, best dessert goes to Harmony Bakery.
Always.
I know, right?
The majority of times.
They're always putting it out there. They're always, I think the crowd favorites over there were some of their cookies, pastries. It was, they crushed it. Lots of people voted for Harmony. So
they do a good job, and then they have the gluten-free too. So they get all of that. You see, gluten-free is a really big thing. So it doesn't surprise me because they cater to all those folks that need the gluten-free dessert, those options. So I love them too for that. Absolutely. Yeah. Great.
Congrats to those restaurants. Again, Woodbury Tavern, Johnny Rad's, Hugh Cafe, and Harmony Bakery. We'll be posting this tomorrow on our social media to congratulate them, but they win a free entry into next winter's vegan restaurant month. So that'll be great.
Awesome. So Dave, what has been your experience since working on the Maryland Vegan Restaurant Month project? I think when you came on, it was weeks or whatever. Can you talk about what it's been like working with me and Sam and just this whole in general, and then your rebranding with Chino, the boy with the blue beard?
Yeah, it's just been great. We are, I'm have been vegan, although I'm not currently vegan. I support the cause, and I think it's just really important, especially after a year of climate change becoming more and more prevalent. I think it's just, you're beginning to see people, think about this, think about their health, think about how they can, impact the earth in a better way with their eating habits, with their lifestyle habits. And, I think veganism and just plant-based eating in general, even if it's not, all the time, I think people are definitely moving in that direction. I think, it was very interesting. I think there were some folks who answered our poll who basically said, that it was like 35% of people who answered our poll were more open to adding vegan options to their diet.
Yes.
So that was good to see those responses come through. I think the more that we can do to promote plant-based eating and showing that it's possible to have these, delicious foods like you have at Land of Kush, like these restaurants created, it creates just a better ecosystem for plant-based eating. And I remember when I was vegan, that's the whole thing, is like, if we can make it just part of our easy lifestyle, then it doesn't become something that you have to think about. It's just easy, and you go out, you're thinking of a date night, you go to a place like, Woodbury Tavern. You're thinking about, oh, I want, a fabulous brunch. You go to a place like Golden West. You want, amazing vegan soul food. You go to Land of Kush or Hugh Cafe Apothecary. And so, I think it's just wonderful to see and help to promote that ecosystem of plant-based eating for people.
Our first time presenting sponsor, Default Veg, who's under the Better Food Foundation. What were your thoughts about that? Because that, their whole default veg ideology, flipping the script on, hey, we just default the veg and the meat to be the options. What did you think about all that as them as a first time sponsor and just the whole concept?
Yeah, the concept is great. And that is, and, our assistance with them was basically to just get them in front of more restaurants, in front of more people, because what they're trying to do is within that plant-based ecosystem, or again, kind of trying to support that plant-based ecosystem with ways in which restaurants can kind of default to plant-based eating with meat as an option. And I think that, that whole idea is going to be fabulous, because it just basically gives guidelines to restaurants to say, hey, let's default to having plant-based foods, and then, have the add-ons, have the supplements be the proteins. And I think, if we can get more restaurants to think in that way, and get more people eating that way, then I think it's fantastic. We already do that with salads, right?
Right. Exactly.
It's like, yeah, I want a protein on my salad or not.
Exactly. Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott had the proclamation for Maryland Vegan Restaurant Month. What are your thoughts behind that? And it was a whole press release.
I want to thank Default Veg, because they helped us with some of that verbiage, and I think that verbiage was spot on. Again, bringing plant-based eating back to an important lifestyle choice, and an important thing that we need to be moving towards in our society. And these are the small steps that do that. So it was wonderful to see him just draw light to that. And, I think it was really well put. It brought it back to a plant-based eating lifestyle being a healthy choice, brought it back to a healthy choice for the planet and more sustainable. Just getting that verbiage out there. And I saw a lot of responses online when we posted about it, that people were excited to see, our city and other municipalities and people of note like Mayor Brandon Scott just bringing light to all of that.
Thanks for that, Dave.
Yeah.
What do you think we're going to need to do to increase Maryland restaurant participation in the next one? I know Veganuary, the executive director, reached out, and I know we're having some preliminary conversations, which is exciting.
Right.
Cross marketing always helps, and whatever ideas we have that we can all work with each other is great. What else do you think needs to happen?
I think part of it is just really clearly explaining to some of these restaurants. I had some great conversations. This was an amazing year. We had Woodbury Tavern who signed on. We had Amora sign on, which was fantastic. So some really fabulous restaurants were able to sign on, and I feel like
sorry.
Oh, we're back.
No, trying to show the dishes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. And Rasa was another part of it. But just some. It was a mixture of fine dining, breakfast restaurants. Miss Shirley is always a part of it. Alma Casina had that amazing tomato tartare. And I think part of it is just explaining how easy it is to do plant-based dishes and that people will come out for it and engage with it. Because I think when we have those discussions with these restaurants and kind of help them a little bit more conceptualize about what they're doing. And it may be in the case of Alma Casina, it was just really highlighting some of the vegan dishes that they already have. And that's part of Vegan Restaurant Month. You don't have to create this elaborate prefix. You don't necessarily, and it's important to, you want to have these different specials. You want to have these different elements. And that was some feedback that we got that, if you're a vegan restaurant already doing vegan food, that's great. Let's do some specials on top of that. So that would be, some feedback for vegan restaurants. Already plant-based restaurants that are doing that. But Johnny Rad's is a great example. And they always do a really fabulous job. They had 18 specials throughout the whole month.
Wow.
Right? So you could, So they were rotating it every week with new plant-based specials, but then running those specials throughout, each week, but there's 4 weeks. So they had, a multitude, 4 or 5 specials each week that they could just put up there. And I think you can do the specials, but I think at the end of the day, we just really want to highlight those plant-based dishes and get it out to plant-based curious people, omnivores, plant-based people, everyone who just, wants to enjoy good food.
Well, I appreciate you being on the team, Dave. You definitely are doing an amazing job and work. Can you promote Blue Plus Blue marketing and things that you're working on right now?
Blue Plus Blue marketing is the company that Chino, the boy with the blue beard, and myself run. It's a boutique marketing firm here in Baltimore, Maryland. Specializing in food and beverage, but also we do a lot of work with everyone from cannabis dispensaries to yoga studios to real estate agencies. Really, we're just out here to support businesses and do create really engaging, unique marketing.
Dave, until we meet again, That's
Always appreciate you,
figuratively, but technically like
I'll
both.
probably see you tomorrow.
Right, exactly. Folks, thanks again for tuning in. You're tuning in to NaijaSpeaks.com. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, share. Someone needs to see this. Someone needs to know Dave, connect with Dave and what he's doing, or the other guests that I had on earlier, BlackVestSociety.org. Please donate. That's how I'm able to do this. I need a new laptop. I need a lot of stuff. So I need to keep this thing going. We are meeting people where they are on their holistic health, vegan, and plant-based journey, and we need your support. So support us at BlackVestSociety.org. Jay, until I see you again, stay well and stay blessed. All right. Bye, everyone.